Good morning everybody and welcome to a new release announcement video for Maho 26.1.0. This is our first release for 2026 and we're starting super strong with this release that been codenamed 𝗧𝗿𝗶𝗽𝗶. Why is this name, you are asking? Well, because we are now supporting 3 different database engines, meaning MySQL, PostgreSQL and even SQLite, which is a database engine that I really like for quick development and even to deploy in production, maybe smaller websites. So to dive into the release and to discover everything, let's see the new and revamped web installer, and I will show you a couple of things here. So we can obviously install Maho, but we now are able to choose the database engine that we want to install Maho onto. In this case, I'm gonna choose SQLite. I will have a database file name in this case, but let's just continue. But in this new step, we're now able to install sample data directly from the web installer. Installing sample data was always possible since using the CLI, but for the first time you can do it also here in the web installer. It's gonna take a little bit of time because it's downloading all of the package with all of the images that anyway are being upscaled, and they now look even more beautiful than ever. So let's fill these fields a little bit, and now let's dive into the backend. Let's log in. First of all, what you see, it's a completely new dashboard. So, giving data to third-party systems like Google Analytics, it's a little bit tricky nowadays because of laws that you have to comply with. So we decided to bring the most important metrics of your store directly into your dashboard. So there's a lot of stuff from obviously online visitors, session metrics, bestsellers, customer devices and browsers, engagement, entry and exit pages. There's a lot of stuff that I really suggest you to explore once you upgrade to Maho 26.1. But the next thing that I want to show you is that if we go to the system configuration and then customer configuration, and if we open the login options menu, we may see this new element that's enable magic link login. What does it mean? It means that your customers, once we enable it, and it's disabled by default for safety, if we enable it, your customers will be able to log in a completely passwordless way, meaning that they will receive a unique code in their email address. So with that code, they will be able to access their account on your store. There are a lot of options here for complete configurability, but one that it's really important is that if you enable magic link login, you may want to disable the password completely. So your customers will be able to subscribe to your store without even have to type a password at all. You may be able to set it that you want to still require a password or not. You may choose whatever you like. And once we enable it and save the configuration, if we go back to the front end and we try to log in, you see the page here. It's a little bit different because first of all, we have a tabbed interface. So we don't have anymore the 2 separate sections at the same time, visible at the same time. This is because obviously for mobile optimized browsers, so it's easier this way. And you have less clutter on the screen. That's most important. But you may see that now we don't have a password anymore. So once the customers type their email address and press login, the new flow is starting. And I think this small feature is actually really important, especially for smaller stores where maybe customers don't shop a lot and they may forget the password they use. So in this way, we are trying to create less friction possible and obviously improve conversions. But let's go back to our release announcement. And so we saw the multi-database support, we saw the magic link authentication, and there is a super huge new module that's available in Maho 26.1, which is the gift card module. So many other platforms are giving gift card feature only in the enterprise version, so they ask for a lot of money for this feature, but we think it's a very important feature and we decided to have it directly in our Maho community. That's the only version that we have and that we'll ever have. So The gift card module is really complete. You are able to sell gift cards on the store, but also to use gift cards as payment methods. So you're able to sell gift cards that have a fixed or a custom amount for maximum flexibility. You can use the gift card to pay for an order, obviously, and it can be a partial payment or a full payment. There's a full and complete balance tracking and balance history. You can export the gift card in PDF, and it is absolutely customizable in HTML and CSS, because we use our beautiful DOM PDF library to render the PDFs. So it's really easy to customize the gift cards, because probably you want to send them via email. Actually, there's already an automatically sent via email to the recipient of the gift in this case. And there's also a full and complete refund handling that's been able to, when you refund an order, to refund to the gift card. So, it's a full and complete module that's available for you, and it's available in the sales submenu of your backend. You see here gift card submenu, manage gift card, and gift card history. So if you go to manage gift card, you can directly issue a gift card. In this way, let's, for example, decide we wanna $100. And by the way, we support complete multi-store functionality and multi-currency functionality. So this is like super amazing. You can set expiration date and a lot of other stuff, but in this case, let's create it, and we don't set a code for it because it will be auto-generated. So this is the code we can use to pay for a product. For example, if we go to the Bed and Bath, we try to add a product to a cart, and by the way, full integration with the off-canvas element that we are supporting since a couple of releases. But if we go to the checkout, but once we reach the payment information, if we type the gift card code here, we can apply it, and we see that's been applied. If we go back to the backend and we decide to print, this is what the PDF looks like. But obviously, as I was telling you before, everything is completely customizable. Let's move to the next super important feature of Maho 26.1, which is CatalogLinkRule new module. So now if you go to the catalog and then product relationship rules, what you are able to do here is to set automatically product relations, meaning, for example, cross-sells, upsells, related products. Before you had to install third-party modules or to manually assign the upsells that are related to a product and so on. Everything was manual, but now you can go here, create your rule. You have priorities. We have sort order possibility, but obviously you can decide in a fully customizable way and super complete way the source products that are targeted by this rule and the target product, and then you match them together and they will be automatically related. And we're talking about obviously all of the three possibilities: related, upsells, and cross-sells. So this is super important. Again, before you had to install a third-party module or to access a paid plan, but now you have it bundled with Maho 26.1. Next feature is USPS REST API migration. So USPS is changing their API system in January of 2026. So we managed to upgrade our module to the newest API version provided by USPS, and we also added a few nice improvements like reduced number of calls, which means obviously faster and better performance, but also shipping label generation for USPS. So this is very important for United States stores, and it's a welcome new feature. Next, scrolling down our release announcement, we may see a couple of other important stuff that I want to tell you about. So for example, file attribute type for EAV means that when you go to attributes and you want to create an attribute of a product, now you can, for example, create a product manual. In the input type, select file. Seems strange, but this was never present in our platform before. What this means is that we go to the product page and we search for an electronic product. What we are able to do now is that, well, we can upload files. And when we upload the files, we can decide if we want to show them directly in the front end. So this clause is an important gap that we had and makes Maho even more complete. Last couple of things, if we go to the front end category page and we revamped the price filter, because I thought the previous one looked really outdated nowadays. And I think this is the best widget for price filtering because it gives complete and easy control to your visitors to filter by the prices they really want. But in this page, I want to show you something else, which is this discount badge, which it was never present by default. And the last thing that I want to show you for today, it's in the backend and it's regarding our what you see is what you get editor. So let's go into the CMS static block. Let's open this one, for example. So obviously, we updated our what you see is what you get editor, which by the way, it's tip-top, and we added a couple of interesting new features. So if we go into new paragraph and we click this button, we now are able to create multi-column layouts. So if we choose, for example, 3-column layout, we may see these 3 columns happening here, and obviously inside here you're able to insert images, slideshow, variables, widget, whatever. But there is further customization here. You may choose the gap between the columns and the style of the columns themselves. So like, for example, no style, so the columns will be almost transparent, but also cards or simply dividers. So again, just let's create fake new content. And the last thing that I want to show you is that when we hover this section, so these little handles appear because we are now able to super easily reorder content inside of our what you see is what you get editor just before saving, and to be able to create even more interesting landing pages and content in general. So there's a lot more stuff in our release announcement post. I really suggest you to check it out, to read it all. I know it's long one, but we really put a lot of effort into every and single release of Maho. If you have questions or any kind of problem, please reach out to me via Discord or via GitHub or via email. It's fine, I will answer you as soon as possible. And if you're feeling super awesome, you can decide to sponsor Maho development, which is, you know, a little bit hard to put all of this effort into this amazing platform that we love so much. So that's all for this release announcement video. I will see you again in a couple of months for Maho 26.3. We already have important new features on our development branch, so stay tuned.